Next is from some guy. Subject is, will Omega's entry be a big blow to AEW? Hey,
Yes.
K100 crew, with the news of Kenny Omega being out of the ring indefinitely, will this actually be a big blow to AEW? I don't. What's your answer, Joe?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I'm
He's
gonna.
one of
We
the
already
best
have a,
guys on their TV.
but we already have a very easy reference for this. Well, what were the numbers when he was out before?
I don't think they changed at all, right?
Okay, well then how is it a big blow if the numbers aren't going to really change?
All right, well then
It's not that big
it's a big blow to me as a viewer then, because I'd be more
maybe.
likely to, yeah.
Right, but I would say it just makes room for another probably a guy they're not using enough. Put Wardlow in the Kenny Omega spot right now, where he's like fighting for the title. I don't know. It's like
right. You know where they have him? You know where they have him, Disco?
Wardlow, he's still doing vignettes and squashes.
Right.
Yeah, I said like they brought him back and he hadn't.
Yeah, put him in
really
a program.
got into a storyline with anybody. He's like
right.
he choked MJF, but like you think they would follow up, and instead just show him working out the next week and another vignette, another easy win. It's just he's had like about 7 squashes and like 3 vignettes, and I don't know. So
right.
So Disco, can I slide a question?
You didn't learn the first time.
Joe wants to slide a question. Of course.
Yeah, this is coming from Discord, and people were discussing it after the TK tweets and whatnot. And
what was the Discord saying about the tweet?
He looked dumb. He looked, unprofessional and that. But what people were saying was like, Disco always got tremendous reactions and stuff like that. And it turned into a discussion where people were remembering when later in '97 you were kind of a babyface. You won the TV belt, got a great reaction. You were fighting the Flock. And we were talking about how over you were. And I said, yeah, that was great. But then for some reason you turned heel. And I always thought I thought you should have went further and stayed babyface because it was working. And that was the question. Like, why did that change where you went back to heel?
I don't know. They were always they didn't really care about the mid card stuff or like seeing what their storylines were doing or we were just kind of like booking stuff on. Like Terry Taylor was booking a lot of this stuff. They would just get they would have a basic thing, but Taylor would kind of tweak the segment and make it more interesting that we could follow up the next week or stuff. Like Terry was actually very helpful to like the mid card guys, trying to give them a little bit more stuff to do out there. He said, why don't we do this?
Yeah.
So,
Jericho said like Terry was the one who had him turn heel and put the TV belt on him and stuff like that. So he always complimented him for that. But people always they'll make fun of the match you had with Jacqueline or whatever. Oh, Disco had to lose to a girl. But the way you wrestled the match and the fact that like you wouldn't hit her and stuff, that made you a face too. Like that you made that work. So
next is from this is interesting from Tommy Herman. Subject is locker room wimps. What up, K1 Bow Wow? You've talked many times about the toughest guys in the locker room, Ming, the Steiners, etc. But who are some of the weakest? Sissies in real life that you wouldn't want on your side in a bar fight. That's from T-Bone from Israel. I don't really know if there was anybody, because per example, like one of the smallest guys in the locker room was like back then was like Shane Helms, but Shane Helms would throw down with you at the drop of a hat. He was like a North Carolina kind of fight. Like him and Bagwell got in a fight, but when they went up to WWE. So
I think that what happened. What happened? Who asked this question?
Some guy, Tommy Herman.
Yeah, Tommy Herman. What happened is the era that we were from. You would get stretched a lot. You were challenged, and you couldn't be a wimp. You know what I'm saying? I will say this without saying names. I would say half the guys in the business right now that I ran into, I think, are wimps.
And 100% would have been tortured by the Steiner brothers back in the day.
And they would have left the business.
Yeah,
they would have left the business.
Would have, might have, right, yeah, exactly.
Bro, Nathan Jones left the business. Come on.
Yeah, right.
And he was in jail.
Right. Next is some John Kamapa, and the subject is Ryback burying CM Punk's return. Say whatever you want about Ryback, but his endless burials of CM Punk are hilarious. Ryback is basically the wrestling version of Donald Trump. I may not like him, but I have to give him credit for his hilarious trash talking. K100, can you please give your opinions on the short burial that Ryback did on CM Punk's recent WWE run? P.S. Why hasn't Tony Khan signed Ryback so that he can do this on AEW TV shows? I will never know. Pull the clip up, Joe. I want to see this. Because Ryback is funny, and he does good edits on his videos, too.
I don't think I've ever seen him. I saw when we was trying food.
He was a good character when he was a bully backstage. When they were doing
Yeah,
those
he was
vignettes.
great.
Yeah, it was a good. He's a good actor. You know,
that was my favorite stuff with him. You know, but all right, here we go.
Yo, I'm the big guy Ryback, and I'm here to tell you that CM Punk promo on Monday Night Raw absolutely sucked. First of all, the pops are not quite nearly the same when you're not in your hometown of Chicago. Ain't that right, Fragile Phil? The man-child best known for his pipe bomb promo, which, by the way, was all scripted for all you little neckbeard Nancy negative marks out there, just completely bombed. Anyone who calls that place home is just mentally fried. It's Shawshank, and there's no doubt that promo was written 100% by the warden. But Fragile Phil is desperate, and desperate boys do desperate things. I mean, in fact, did he think that he was just going to sneak this one by us? Bro, did you think we were going to forget about this? Most feared man? Huh? Most feared man? If you got into an altercation with a 12-year-old, I'm putting everything I got on the 12-year-old. At least he was clear on one thing, though, and that's he's broke, and he doesn't have the money. He needs the money, and he tucked his tail between his legs, and he went back to the one place that fired him on his wedding day. Oh, Fragile Phil, welcome back to the game, and you're about to get played, and that's the last bite. Feed me more. Yo,
WWE could play these YouTube clips for like 2 months on the show, and just have Ryback show up one day and just attack him and beat this out of him. I think people would pop, if they show that, because it's like everybody knows they kind of real heat with each other. If you have a guy burying you with real heat, YouTube clips, everything, and then he shows up, I think that'd be entertaining television. So
it would be.
Yeah. What'd you think of that?
I think this is what I think. Friend of the show, we both like Ryback, but that's what happens to Punk, who probably may not, I don't know, or if he is fragile, he does. I think that's what you get when you make an enemy out of somebody, and this guy has not let that go.
Right.
Like he's still.
Yeah.
Now that podcast he did with Colt, where he buried Ryback and he threw a lot of shade at Reigns. I said it before, that hurt Ryback, but that was the beginning of Reigns getting booed as a babyface. Because people were following that Punk lead and looking at it like Punk did, like, oh, this guy's just getting pushed because he's Samoan, and
send me that clip of send that to me. I want to hear Punk on the podcast, but
Cabana.
He's buried. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next is from Walter Lewis, a fourth, and the subject is Kenny Omega diverticulitis. Good early morning, K100 fan bam. With Kenny Omega having diverticulitis, he thinks it's some strange form of karma. It's come out the AW video game as a finishing move called diverticulitis, which is actually Brock Lesnar's F5. Wow, really? Wait, yes. Brock suffered from diverticulitis.
Yeah, Brock did.
Almost died.
Twice.
I know this.
Yeah.
But Kenny worked a lot in the game and likely had say so over small shots like this. They really have a finishing move called the diverticulitis, and it's an F5 on the video game?
They took the F5 and called it the diverticulitis. Yeah.
Really?
But Kenny has tweeted about that and been like, dude, I have nothing to do with that or naming a move or like out of here, basically.
Really?
But
wow, that's
what Kenny said.
I had no idea about that. That's really tacky. That's very tasteless.
It is.
It really is. That's kind of. I can't believe they actually did that.
Video games are tasteless. Society's tasteless.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's kind of. Maybe it is karma. It's like,
here's what he said. He said, are you talking about even if I was in charge of everything in game development, I didn't even know this name existed. I was creative lead in early stages. That's it. Create a wrestler move list ain't a part of that. But sure, I guess I deserve everything I get and worse. So
that's what I'm trying to tell Tony. He goes, "Oh, we're being attacked. Kenny Omega's being attacked, who doesn't really attack people, Every wrestler, everybody gets attacked.
Yeah. I'm not even in the business. I'm getting attacked.
Right. Exactly.
It's like,